going to, as usual, go over some Reddit TILs. Today I learned it is Friday at around 7 o'clock in Los Angeles, and as such, there's going to be a ton of traffic. I have to do this early. I have some plans tonight, and if it turns out the video sucks because there's just too much noise, guess what? I won't release it, and I'm just talking to myself like that. Can you hear that car? There's a car that just went by. I'm going to drink some soda really quick. Bubbles. I don't even know if you can hear these bubbles, or is the soda flat? Can you hear it? We'll find out. Okay. TIL. Today I learned Kodak uncovered the first atomic bomb test when customers began complaining about black spots on their photos. Well, that's creepy. Let's see what that's about. Hello. There we go. That was submitted, by the way, by Generally Awful Human. That is the username. I'm not calling that person that. And the first comment by North Tumbleweed 512 is Kodak also had a nuclear reactor in their basement in New York they completely forgot about for a few decades until they were doing a renovation. Is that true, or is that a joke? They had a nuclear reactor in their basement in New York. They completely forgot about. What do you mean? How do you forget you have a nuclear reactor? That's got to be a joke. Ashcare responded to that. Says, makes me wonder how many nuclear reactors are just laying around and forgotten about still. Cassandra Vindicated says, yes, they did in Albany, if I'm not mistaken. So they actually had a nuclear. It's just a common thing to have nuclear reactors at a certain time. That's weird. And Drambor says, and if one of you makes the front page tomorrow with till Kodak learned about the atomic such and such, I'ma be mad. I don't know what that means. Let's back out of this. This isn't the one that I was talking about when I said I was interested in a couple of TILs that I saw earlier. It wasn't that one. I don't really care about atomic bomb kind of stuff. Here we go. TIL, The Expanse started out as an RPG. Ty Frank created the game, and his later co-author Daniel Abraham was so impressed by the amount of research and world building he suggested they write a novel from it. Their first book was nominated for a Hugo and spawned a hit television series. I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons, not episodes, seasons of The Expanse. I was a fan. Probably still am. I never watched it since it got picked up by Amazon. For those that don't know what it is, The Expanse is a sci-fi show set in space, very far in the future, and Earth does still exist. In fact, Earth and Mars and I believe other planets, they're all colonized, and there's also people that work on enormous space stations. They're like the size of cities, and a lot of drama and shit goes down, and I don't want to give too much away. It's definitely worth watching. I should probably revisit it. At one point, a dude's head gets blown off. It's pretty crazy. That's in I won't give it away. I don't know why. That's just one of the things that I really remember out of the 3 seasons is there's a certain character. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. There's a certain character. You think he's gonna be a main guy. You get semi-attached to the guy. You're like, hey, this guy's a good actor. Boom, head is gone. You're like, oh, fuck. This is one of those kinds of shows. Not as far as a Game of Thrones show where you're like, yeah, this person's part of my family now, and they just got their fucking head cut off. Or what are some other ways people die in Game of Thrones? There was that one asshole that got the gold melted over his head. He wasn't a good guy, though. Everyone in, jeez, you know what? I don't even want to bring up the way people die in Game of Thrones. It's a little too dark. So, okay, I think the comments, unfortunately, in this are going to be too Expanse heavy, so people aren't going to know what the hell they're talking about. For example, General Hammond Cheese says, Belta Lauda. That's Single Dad Life says, unless you've played with some of these folks, you'd be surprised how much background work and world building some DMs do for a story. Game Master, Dungeon Master, I believe is what he's referring to. I've seen pages of story get dropped until next run because we didn't talk to one particular innkeep. Wow. Even knowing that, finding out The Expanse was an extended RPG session that morphed into the novels and a TV show is mind-blowing. Very cool. Very cool. Was Jumanji ever a game to begin with, or was it always a book? I'm curious. Did they just go straight movie adaptation? Obviously the one with Robin Williams. I really like the one with The Rock, and Kevin Hart crushed it in Jumanji, dude. Dude made me laugh my fucking ass off. The Jumanji 2, man. Kevin Hart doing a Danny Glover impression fucking destroyed me. So good. Oh my god, what was it? Funny fact about the ostrich. Yeah, his deal on the ostrich, and did I just kill my friend because I was talking too slow? So amazing. Go watch Jumanji if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It'll make sense. Next, TIL. That part of the reason Francis Bellamy was asked to write the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag was to market American flags to schools. Wow, that is America, though. Let's be real. There isn't anything more American than marketing and capitalism. So the fact that that very part of America is intertwined with the Pledge of Allegiance makes it America times 2. I'm gonna wait for that motorcycle to go by really quick. Okay, I think it's gone. Who posted this one today? I learned that one was by Texas Free Range. They actually posted that. And the Shroom Hermit says the recital was accompanied with a salute to the flag known as the Bellamy Salute, described in detail by Bellamy. During World War II, the salute was replaced with a hand-over-heart gesture because the original form involved stretching the arm out towards the flag in a manner that resembled the later Nazi salute. That's wild. I forgot to set my timer. I'm going to set a timer really quick. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Alright. One more comment from this. Pepperdino2 says, nothing is more quintessentially more American than to discover the venerated Pledge of Allegiance of patriotic myth is in actuality genius marketing. Can't stop getting repeatedly owned by capitalism. Lol. Thank you, Pepperdino2, for reflecting my thoughts exactly. And Affectionate Archer 4 says, imagine all the people who lose their shit about people who refuse to stand and sing an advertisement in schools. Haha. Vegan Harvest says, they wasted untold hours of American collective youth to sell some flags. Yeah. And then Saint TNS again, echoing what I and that other person said. To be fair, that's the most American thing I've heard all day. Let's get out of this one, move on to another one. Today I learned about fossil words that have largely fallen out of common use but still survive in idioms. Examples include fro as in to and fro, and lo as in lo and behold. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back then, is what I'm gonna do. When my friend comes from somewhere, I'm gonna be like, hey, where'd you just come from? I don't know how to use lo as in lo and behold. What does that mean? I would just associate it with behold. Low. Not low and high, you know what I mean? Low as in low as used in low and behold. I don't know what it means. I always thought it just meant behold. That was posted by DEQB. Not gonna try to pronounce that. First comment from NVM, so never mind. Just shit posting. Says, hard to be a muck without running. That's funny. And in response, West Winter said, so there I was, just strolling amok, minding my own chaos. I like it. I like it. Slightly Stable says, lo and fro, that is the tempo. Calliope Penelope says, would this apply to ruth, meaning compassion? Because we still say someone is ruthless, but we no longer say, have some ruth for me. Yeah, I actually said that a couple months ago, believe it or not. What is ruth? Because people always say ruthless, but no one ever says ruthful or just straight up Ruth. Unless you're 90. Hi, Ruth. I would like to say hello to Ruth, Beatrice, and Muriel right now. If I have If the one person watching this happens to be 95, I just said your name. How's that feel? I hope you're having a nice evening. Let's go back to this and read the next TIL. Today I learned that the American public found out about the existence of the atomic bomb only 16 hours after the bombing of Hiroshima. Hey, is there something I didn't know of today about atomic bombs? Why is there so many posts about atomic bombs? I know it's only 2, but I read one the other day. It's like people are just fascinated with nukes and it's freaking me out. Fine, let's click on the comments. I'm not going to spend too long on it though. One comment, and that was posted by Ryan949 about the American public finding out about the atomic bomb 16 hours after the bombing of Hiroshima. Really quick, why is he saying the American public found out about the existence of the atomic bomb only 16 hours after the existence, not the actual bombing itself? Because still, like, back then, what was it, the 50s, 40s, whenever it was, I'm not good with history or math. Never mind. You would think back then 16 hours would probably be the standard amount. Well, no, they had TVs and radio. Look, dude, I don't know. My brain is mush right now, and I don't know why, but for some reason I was thinking it would take a really long time for word to travel because they didn't have internet, but I do think I'm seriously underestimating the time it takes for radio and TV to get the message across. iGolly says, I love the story about how Kodak accidentally found out about the atomic bomb testing. What the fuck is going on here? These people are repeating the that we looked at earlier. Now I'm getting upset and I'm almost sad that I made this video. What do you think about that? Let's move on to the next one because this is the one that I actually wanted to read. Today I learned Larry Bird is the only person in NBA history to have won Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, NBA Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year. That is so impressive to me. I remember Larry Bird. Was it Bird versus Jordan? The NES game from the 80s. That's what I remember. I also just remember him as, he was the white guy. He was, I don't want to say our guy, just because I'm white. Maybe I'm white. I got a lot of really weird mixed European in me. There's some Romanian. There's some I think Russian, I think Polish, I got some New York, and I got LA. I got a lot of mix in me, so I don't know if I'm straight white, but I do think all the places I just named are pretty fucking white. Listen, I'm straying from the point here. I'm just saying, look, Larry Bird was the white guy in the 80s, wasn't he? He was the white NBA guy. So it was interesting. It was him versus Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson, or was it Michael Jordan? NBA game, someone look it up. And God, that sounded so racist. Our guy. I hope people understand what the fuck I'm talking about. It's rare. What do you want me to pretend like the NBA is just littered with white dudes, especially in the 80s, so when one of them actually, it's just nice to know he wasn't the token white guy as reflected in all of these accolades. That's what I'm getting at. It turns out Larry Bird was actually really good, not just the token white guy in the NBA. I'm going to read off all of his accolades again. He's the only person in NBA history to have won Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, NBA Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year. That's fucking awesome. Good job, Larry. And it's weird because coincidentally the other day I was reading about Wayne Gretzky, alright? Another guy with crazy fucking accolades. You gotta read about Wayne Gretzky. I hope there's a TIL on him sometime soon. But he's nicknamed the Great One, and if you see how many records Wayne Gretzky has, hockey, just in case there's people out there that don't know who Wayne Gretzky is, he's the greatest hockey player of all time. His records are mind-blowing. I'm not going to get into them right now, but let's just say nobody in hockey is going to come even close to breaking any of his records, and he holds some shit like 10 or 20 ridiculous records, like most points ever, most points scored in a season, even through assists. Somehow he still amassed more goals than anyone if you take away all of his points that he scored on his own away. Just like ridiculous. And it made me wonder if Wayne Gretzky is the best athlete of all time in any sport. Because how do you really compare? How do you find out who the best is? You would have to, go sport by sport, I guess, and then find out who the greatest athletes are of that sport, and then who really fucking destroyed. Who's the tippy top of that? It would be Gretzky, right? Because there's always the talk of Jordan versus Kobe versus LeBron, and I suppose Tiger Woods is like best. He's the best golfer, right? Probably far and away the best golfer. I'm assuming he is, but I'm curious how Tiger Woods compares to other really, really good golfers. I guess there was Jack Nicklaus, and I don't know. I just remember Lee Trevino because he did salsa commercials back in the 80s. And then who else? Baseball? I don't know. Tennis? I think Novak Djokovic now is really crushing it in a lot of different areas, like better than Agassi, Sampras, and what's his name? Djokovic and Nadal were like head and head for a while, and then Djokovic just surpassed him. Anyway, the thing I'm getting at is most of the other sports, the records are attainable. They're seemingly attainable, even though very difficult. It's obviously hard to be the best ever. They're still somewhat attainable. I feel like when it comes to hockey and Wayne Gretzky's records, it's fucking hopeless. Like, don't even try. You're not gonna do what Gretzky ever did. You know what? I'm sorry. I have to show you all of the shit Gretzky did. We're gonna break from the TILs really quick. We're gonna go F11, and we're going to go to best hockey. Let's just go to best hockey player of all time. That's what we're gonna go and see what it comes up with. Click, and then at the top, Wayne Gretzky, right there, right? And then if you click on this, people also ask, who is the best hockey player of all time? Click, it just straight up says, oh, Wayne Gretzky. Google. That's how fucking good Wayne Gretzky is. You go, hey Google, who's the best hockey player of all time? And Google goes, oh, that's Wayne Gretzky. And so this is from the hockeywriters.com. Let's go full screen again, sorry. Who's the best hockey player of all time? Wayne Gretzky. And we'll just click on it. 5 greatest hockey players ever. We're going to go, and I did read this, and it's pretty badass. This Jeremy guy is really good. Gordie Howe, Mario Lemieux, Bobby Orr, and then it goes down to Gretzky. And I'll just read about this. Where to even start with Wayne Gretzky? The NHL record book might as well be renamed The Memoirs of Wayne Gretzky, as he basically wrote it himself throughout his career. The only player in NHL history to record 200 points in a single season, Gretzky achieved the feat a whopping 4 times during his career. So just to be clear about what the fuck I just said, Gretzky is the only player in NHL history to record 200 points in a single season. He's the only one to have ever done it. And not only did he do it, he did it 4 times. So let that sink in and now understand why I'm saying nobody's even fucking close to doing what Gretzky did. Even once. He did it 4 times. Gretzky achieved the feat a whopping 4 times during his career. He holds the record for most goals in a single season with a mind-boggling 92 red lights. Don't even know what that is, but it sounds impressive. And also the record for the fastest to 50 goals in a season in a ridiculous 39 games. On top of that, he ignited interest for the sport in California thanks to his stint with the Los Angeles Kings, eventually turning the Golden State into one of the fastest growing hockey hotbeds in the U.S. So, and then I went down the rabbit hole of reading all of his accomplishments, and that was just like a couple of them. Let's see, you know what, I will actually see if it talks about, actually let's just see Wayne Gretzky records. Thanks for hanging in there, but you're supposed to be asleep right now, so I'm just talking to myself, and hopefully hopefully I'm not getting too excited and waking you up. Gretzky records. Wayne Gretzky records. Wayne Gretzky records, the great ones, 10 most unbreakable records. These are just his most unbreakable records. And Gretzky's stats have the benchmark so high that it appears many, if not all, of his records appear to be unbreakable. Here's a countdown of 10 of Gretzky's records that will not be broken. Sorry. I'll put that, okay. Most Art Ross trophies in a career. 10. Winning the Art Ross Trophy as the NHL's leading point scorer in a single season is a highlight in any player's career. Well, Gretzky led the league in points for half of his career. In each of the years that Gretzky won the award, he amassed at least 130 points during that season. The Great One averaged 195.5 points per season in the years that he was recipient of the Art Ross Trophy. Gordie Howe has won the second most Art Ross trophies in a career with 6. Jaromir Jagr has the highest total among active players with 5. So he pretty much double what everyone else has. 9 most goals in a season, 92. In the 81-82 season, Gretzky broke Phil Esposito's record for goals in a season by amassing 92 over 80 games. Based on the numbers today superstars put up, the record is safe for the time being. Let's see, Steven Stamkos had a great season with the Tampa Bay Lightning last year, reaching the 60-goal plateau for the first time in his career. However, if Stamkos were to match Gretzky's single-season record, the Lightning forward would need to average another .42 goals per game throughout the course of this season. And I'm just going to kind of go through these without reading them in the entirety because I got to go do stuff. It's getting late. Most assists in a season, 163. Even for Gretzky, 163 assists was over the top, considering his second highest assist total in any campaign was 135. Here's a stat to put Wayne's 163 assists, which came in the 85-86 season, into perspective. The player who finished that year second in points, which was the Penguins' Mario Lemieux, recorded 141 points. 141. With today's leading point scorers averaging anywhere between 100 and 110 points in a single year, amassing 163 assists is more than just a lofty goal. He has the most professional goals in a career, 1,072. He has the most assists in a career, 1,963. In baseball, a telling stat about Hank Aaron's greatness is that if you took away all of his 755 home runs, he would still have amassed 3,000 in his hits career. 3,000 hits in his career. Well, an equally telling stat is that if you took away all of Gretzky's 894 NHL goals, he would still be the NHL's all-time leading scorer. Mark Messier, Gretzky's longtime friend and teammate with both the Edmonton Oilers and New York Rangers, is second all-time points with 1,887. Then he has the most Hart trophies, 9 of them. He has the most career points, 2,857. He's the only person to have more than 2,000 points, has 970 more points than the runner-up Messier. He has 970 more points than the next runner-up at 2,857. 3 consecutive 200-point seasons. The odds of a player in the NHL recording 200 points in any season are slim to none. So imagine the likelihood of a player accomplishing this feat 3 seasons in a row. You see what I'm getting at? 3 seasons in a row, this guy does what nobody ever does, and he does it 3 times. He's a fucking freak, this guy. Freak of nature. And 2, a 51-game point scoring streak. The streak is hockey's equivalent to Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak in baseball, and it is a hallowed benchmark in hockey history. Gretzky started this run on opening night of the 83-84 season and totaled an astounding 61 goals, 92 assists, and 153 points. Mario Lemieux came close to Gretzky's record with a 46-game scoring streak in 1989-90 and one lengthy streak in recent memory as Sidney Crosby, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I'll finish it off. In recent memory was Sidney Crosby's 25-game streak in 2010. That was rude of me to just cut him off. But I did read somewhere. Oh, no, this is it. Number 1 is 50 goals in 39 games, although you could make the case that any one of these records listed in the top 10 could be considered number 1 on the list. 50 goals in 39 games is the record that Gretzky has repeated he takes the most pride in, and has said on record that it will be the toughest to break. Over the last 3 seasons, only 6 players have scored 50 goals in an entire season. To score 50 goals in half as many games seems preposterous based on these numbers. It's a record that would take a consistent, incredible hot streak that is impossible. Well, impossible for everyone not named Wayne Gretzky. So you can see those. That's why, sorry I went on that crazy tear, but it was just fascinating to me how good he actually was. I had no idea. I was just like, yeah, you start naming off really good athletes and be like, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, but you don't realize how dominating Wayne Gretzky actually was in hockey. No, that's it. It's done. Hockey's a wrap. Wayne Gretzky owned it. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. That was really hockey heavy. In fact, I think most of that TIL was not even about a fucking TIL. We hijacked the Larry Bird TIL to talk about Wayne Gretzky, but I hope you thought it was pretty cool. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I mean, definitely tomorrow. I'll record another one. I was thinking of when I'm gonna record another one tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Why am I talking to you about the behind the scenes shit? Hopefully you're sleeping. And I will see you guys soon. Leave a comment if you want to get a hold of me. I'll try to get back to you if there's anyone watching this. And have a good night.